snap back. Here's the kick. He's got the leg into it. If it is good, and it is! Boston scores! A 49-yard field goal, and Indiana leads 27-24.
Welcome to the LEO podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bragg. I'm here with my co-host, Brandon Dubich. You can follow me on Twitter at Bragley. That's Braggley. And you can follow Brandon at Brandon Dubich, Dubich. Also, make sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/podcastleo. Give us a follow on Twitter at podcastleo. And make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. That's all for the technical stuff. Brandon, what's going on, bud?
I need your energy to pick me up, man. Just some bad news. Not surprising, but we haven't played a game in a while. We haven't got some good news in a while. I'm really needing this podcast to kind of lift me up a little bit. How are you feeling around the state of the Indiana football team?
Iffy, man. Iffy. We'll get into it, I think. While I'm still up on it. But yeah, not having games. I was really pumped for Friday. Was moving some stuff around. Didn't think it was going to be on a Friday night game, but moved some stuff around to get ready for it, and then to have the news come out today that it's not going to happen was pretty heartbreaking. So let's get into that real quick. No game last week. This is supposed to be our post-game pod of the Bucket game, but there was no Bucket game, and they rescheduled it for this Friday and then canceled it again. So Bucket stays in Bloomington where it belongs. What do you think about that whole situation?
I think whether the game was played or not, it was going to stay in Bloomington. It's never a bad thing that we can continue to hang that bucket in our little brother's face for another 300 some odd days. So that's never a bad thing. But I just want to see this team play. Like, I don't care if we're playing Little Sisters of the Poor. I want to see this team play. You know, it's just so fun, and I would have liked Tuttle to get one more game under his belt before, a possible New Year's 6 game, which, we'll get into that possibility as well. And I would have liked to see some of these younger freshmen that were starting to get run. I would have liked them to get a little bit more game action. Because I think the ultimate prize, with some of the talent that's leaving, Trevor Lawrence will be gone, Justin Fields will be gone, Mac Jones will be gone. There's going to be a little bit of a talent vortex kind of sucked up into next year. And we'll get into that in months upcoming. But I just wanted to see this team one more time. Because, clearly I think, like we saw last year in the bowl game, we are going to see the roster kind of squeeze up a little bit. So I would have liked a little bit more. Again, I've said it 9 times already. So I was really bummed. I kind of figured the game last Friday would get canceled, but I thought they would find a way to make championship week happen. From what Tom Allen said today in his press conference, 28 guys being affected, not counting staff members. Obviously, that just debilitates team. That's over 25% of your roster. So them not playing doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make my feelings any better. What about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, as I said, it sucks, man. Whenever they can't play, even on bye weeks, scheduled bye weeks, it's always a bad week for me. I mean, it's stuff where we can get some other stuff done on a Saturday, but at the same time, I don't know about you, but unfortunately this year, unfortunately in the past, like these fall, early winter weekends revolve around what IU does on Saturdays, and to not have anything now for 2 weeks, and to know that there's possibly more in the future without having any sort of football for what could be a month or a little bit more is not going to be any fun to sit around and wait.
So this is a post-game pod. Did you watch any football on Saturday?
No.
Because I did not either. I got Christmas shopping done. I got some work around the house done. I kind of blackballed sports. I was like, you know what? Watching college football is just going to make me sad. So I tuned into exactly 0 minutes.
You know what? I did. Football. Saturday was bad COVID day for me, though.
Oh
Bad
yeah.
COVID day, bad headaches. I don't remember any of it. So, I
Were,
mean,
were you
I think I
partying
did.
with the Indiana Hoosiers after that Wisconsin win?
Yeah, it was
Were you
all
patient
me.
zero?
It
If
was
so, we're all gonna kill you.
that was me. Yeah, I'm the one that spread it around. I didn't want to play Purdue. I was nervous. Um, but no, it wasn't any fun to sit around and to not have it. So, and then to have COVID on top of that is it's not fun. So
With two little kids,
yeah,
and a
with two
wife
little
who
kids,
also has COVID.
it's coming off.
Not
Yep.
not fun at all.
Nope.
If the game did get played though, let's live in hypotheticals because that's all we have to live in, right? That's we don't have a game to talk about. What do you think the final score would have been had the game been played? This Saturday or this next Friday.
You know me. I'm always gonna say we're gonna lay it on whoever we're playing. Usually, unless it's Ohio
Yeah.
State. It would have been bad in my opinion, like 42-17. No, I mean, yeah, total offense to Purdue actually. Um, they're not good, man. And the ones that I've seen, the games I've seen them play, Nebraska, they looked awful for 3.5 quarters, and then they came back because Nebraska is who Nebraska is. And I feel like at home, another trophy game in Tuttle being able to, I think they were going to let him go loose, and I think he would have gone nuts. And in 42-17 with a couple, either a special team touchdown or a defensive touchdown too, it wouldn't have been pretty for Purdue. But I, I don't know. There's another side of me too that thinks that maybe it would have been another one of those Wisconsin games.
So I'm gonna split the difference with you. I do think they score 17, but I think this has a little bit of shades of the Michigan State game where we kicked their ass in the first quarter and a half. Like it's 21-0. It's 24-3. And then we sort of just kind of coast and go into a little bit of prevent mode. So I'm on your score of them scoring 17. I think they get one gadget play and one garbage time touchdown. And I think we kind of just shut it down. I think it's something like 31-17, 34-17, where the score ends up looking closer than it really was. But anyone that watched that game know that there was just a huge talent discrepancy and a huge coaching discrepancy. So unless you're just box score number hunting, I think we're talking about an utter manhandling if they had played.
Yeah, I agree.
I
The
don't
talent
see how they
gap.
get the 42 points, but you're a bigger believer of Tuttle than I am. You also believe in the running backs a little bit more than I do. I think the running backs are serviceable, and I think Tuttle is probably an above average Big Ten quarterback. 42 points is a lot of points in a rivalry game. But
Mark it down. I think Tim Baldwin is an all Big Ten first team running back at some point in his career.
yeah.
Possible All-American running back. The next one.
So yeah, let's speak of that a little bit. Just talking about Purdue. Let's start with kind of the offensive skill positions. You gotta like our quarterback room better than their quarterback room. Honestly, I think you got to put our quarterback room in some of the best quarterback rooms in the entire country. If not to be too hyperbolic, I definitely think. What position group would you take of Purdue's, or are you not picking any of them?
And on the day that Ty Freifogel won Big Ten wide receiver of the year, I think I would take their wide receivers over ours.
Okay.
It's not just Bell and Moore. Number 0, I can't remember his name. I know he changed his number this year. He's good. They had that kid that just left, Anderson. I mean, they were deep at wide receiver, and those poor kids haven't had anybody to throw the ball to them. Especially, I mean, Rondo. What? Like, could you imagine if he had a
Right.
quarterback?
Yep.
Same thing with David Bell. I mean,
And
that
we've
guy.
been there, right? We've had the offensive wide receiving studs with no one to throw the ball to. So we've certainly lived that life that Purdue is currently living, and it's absolutely no fun to be a part of.
Yeah. Other than that, though, their offensive line's okay. Tight end is okay, but not better than Hendershot. I don't know a whole lot about their defense. Their linebacker's pretty good. Barnes, Neal, and the defensive tackle, the big fat guy, he's pretty good. But again, I'm not taking any position group on that side of the ball over anything we have on defense
Oh,
either.
certainly not on the defensive side of the ball. And we're gonna do an end of season pod, but just like what we were able to do to Michigan and Michigan State, and Maryland's got some offensive skill, and yeah, so I think there's a huge talent gap between Purdue and IU on the defensive side, and I agree with you. I mean, I like their wide receivers. I don't think they got a scheme that kind of benefits their running backs, and I think Brom does get more out of his running backs than the talent that they have there, and I think that's all scheme. But could Brom face the same depth that Kevin Wilson did, just inability to recruit a quarterback?
That's what it looks like. I
Yeah.
think we touched a little bit on it last pod, or maybe it didn't make the pod. They just lost their 4-star quarterback that was due to come in next year.
Sam Jackson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't look at their recruiting class. I really don't. So I don't know if they have anybody else lined up there or not. I know that one of their quarterbacks that they brought in last year has already switched his position.
Yep.
I believe to tight end maybe. So unless Plummer or this McConnell kid, I don't even know how old they are. They got to get that room figured out. For David Bell, he's got one more year left. Moore's gone. I don't know what number 0 is doing. I don't
He's a
pay
sophomore.
attention. I don't
He's a
pay
sophomore.
attention to any of their stuff, so I don't really know. Speaking of this game and Purdue, what by not playing the game, in my opinion, I don't think we hurt anything. But after watching the college football playoff and them talking about games played and all that other stuff, do you think it hurt or helped or did nothing for us to play or to not play these 2 games?
Yes, I've got to listen to a lot of analysis over the past week on it. None of it that I liked or agreed with, and then seeing the results that happened tonight as we sit here Tuesday, December 15th. I don't think that, unless we won 63-0, like if we win by my projected score, 34-17, that doesn't move the needle at all.
Based on what happened an hour and a half ago, who do you jump? Who do we jump? We jumped up 1 spot to 11.
Florida dropped 1 spot, losing to LSU. Self-imposed banned LSU, losing record LSU,
True freshman quarterback LSU.
Yeah, against Trask, right? Like literally that loaded Florida team with and I don't know if he's quite an All-American, but he's a top flight quarterback.
He's a Heisman candidate.
Well, there he is. So he is probably going to be an All-American.
Yeah.
And they drop 1 spot. I mean, again, they're not judging resumes; they're judging names, and we're still in the. I'm starting to get worked up. I'm starting to get pissed off because that's what they're looking at. When they have all the schools listed on their big board, they're not looking strength of schedule. They're not looking at who they beat. They're not looking at all. They're looking at is, okay, we have Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, Indiana. Where are we putting them? That's all they're looking at. And it's ridiculous. It shows that the system that they currently have is broken.
You see who took Florida's spot? Iowa State. Iowa fucking State at 8-2, 7-2. We went over that last week. You guys can listen to the last pod to hear our opinions on Iowa State. They're not good.
Yep, I'm looking at it now. The December 15th rankings and so I'm just gonna just say yes or no. Does Indiana beat Oklahoma? Yeah, our defense rattles Rattler.
Yeah, I've seen him play. That would be close. Yeah. I'll say yes.
Yep. Do we beat Cincinnati?
Yes.
Do we beat Georgia?
Their new quarterback's tough, man. No.
No, I agree. Do we beat Florida?
No.
Do we beat Iowa State?
Yes.
Do we beat Texas A&M?
Yes.
So I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with Texas A&M. But yeah, I have us as we absolutely should be 8th or 9th. I think we do have a better shot at beating Georgia. I think our defense is just too much for a freshman quarterback. But I don't think we beat A&M, and I don't think we beat Florida.
See, that's yeah. I don't. It's all hype. Hypothetical. We're never going to play these teams. I don't know. So I mean, maybe because you watched a little bit more of those other teams more than I do.
Yeah.
I've seen A&M a couple times. Everybody's obsessed with Mond. I don't think he's that great. Other than that, I haven't seen him play too much defense. All they do is give up tons of points from
Yeah.
the games that I've seen. Iowa State would get stomped out by 2 scores probably. Florida would take us out, I think. Georgia would be close.
I think
Oklahoma
Georgia
would be
very
really close. I'm with you. I'm with you on
So,
all
but
on all of that.
before we get into what bowl we would like us to see us playing in, who do you want to play?
I want to play what everybody's putting us into.
You want to play USC.
I want to play USC.
Yeah, see, I want to play the loser of the Big 12. I want to just call out I think the Pac-12 is so far below the Big 10 that I don't think we really need to talk about the Pac-12. And I know that's probably who our matchup's going to be if we go where we think we're going to go. But it just dream scenarios. Like if I'm playing the NCAA football game and I can pick who I want to play, I want to play the loser of Oklahoma, Iowa State, and just beat the ever-loving hell out of one of those teams.
If we're doing that, if we're doing, unrealistic scenarios.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I know who you want to play, because I'm so sick and tired of the college football playoff committee putting both of those teams above us repeatedly. It's bullshit, and I want to beat the hell out of them.
Notre Dame.
Oh, you want to play Notre Dame?
I want to play Notre Dame.
Oh man, that's tough. I unfortunately have watched a lot of Notre Dame games. If their quarterback is anyone other than Ian Book, I think they're really, really good. I think Ian Book holds them back. That would be a fun game, because I grew up in South Bend and I despise everything Notre Dame. So I would be more fired up than I normally am, but I don't know if I sign up for Notre Dame.
Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up, because Ohio State, if they play each other in the playoffs, God, I hope they play each other in the playoffs. Ohio State would just wreck them. Absolutely wreck that team.
Well, Clemson's going to beat Notre Dame this weekend, so
they're not going to fall out. They're not going to fall out unless they get destroyed.
It'll be Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Ohio State 3, Notre Dame 4. So we're not going to get to see it. We're going to get Alabama Notre Dame, and that's going to be a fucking blowout.
Clemson Ohio State's going to be nice. Really
that's going to be a great game. Yeah.
Well, hey, let's switch gears a little bit. I think we're going to get more mad if we keep going.
I'm sure the people listening can tell how many decibels my voice has went up as we started. Like I started sad, now I'm mad.
So I'm going to bring the energy, but we went down a totally different road than what I wanted us to wanted us to go down. I wanted to stay a little bit more positive. We just, one more quick thing. We need Northwestern to get rammed. If that happens on Saturday, or I think even if they just lose, it doesn't matter where we finish in the rankings. I think we'll be okay with where we want to go in the bowl. So let's look at some positive stuff. And I think it's very positive starting tomorrow.
There it is.
All 13 of our commitment, or all 13 of our verbal commitment recruits are due to sign tomorrow. So let's look at some of the highlighted players that are coming in. I'll let you start with some of your big dogs there.
Yeah, so if you listened last week, you heard the person I was most excited about was Josh Sales, just because I think offensive line recruiting is so very, very important. And I also touched on a Freeman, who is hopefully going to keep our stable of Husky defensive talent there. But there's a couple of other guys that I wanted to highlight. Staying on the defensive side, I think that kind of the big thing that's really helped our defense stay good is the scheme we have with our cornerbacks. And I'm pretty impressed with Larry Smith coming out of Jacksonville, Florida. He has that play in the backfield mentality, very similar to what Taiwan and Reese bring. So I think he fits scheme-wise really, really well. He's 5'10", so he is a little bit on the smaller side. But, I think we're not asking our corners to line up man against wide receivers down the field very often. They're often playing in the flat or playing behind the line of scrimmage. So I think Larry Smith fits our design very, very well from what I've seen. And then again, staying on that offensive line, I really like what Vinny Villacable can bring. I was reading on him a little bit, and I guess he's coming in as a guy who could get snaps as a true freshman. Obviously, not start, but I think you never have enough depth on the offensive side, and the fact that he has tackle, so he'll be able to pull and he'll be able to move. I really, really like the pieces we've built on the inside on the offensive line this year. I mean, we took 8 last year, so I think last year was more of a quantity, where this year we took more of the quality. And I think 10 guys in an offensive line in 2 recruiting classes is really building up your foundation. It gets said a lot on the basketball podcast and on the basketball boards, but the get old, stay old, or stay old, get old, however you want to say that. I think that's very true with what Tom Allen is building on the offensive and defensive line, and nothing encapsulates that more than our offensive line class over the past 2 years.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we've got a couple running backs coming in next year. Speedster guy and David Holloman, I think is a super under recruited kid.
Guy run the 4.3.
Oh yeah, 4.3.
Guy runs
I mean,
4.3.
come on, 4.340. If he can make that translate the next level, it's going to be a major get for IU. He's one of those guys that we would used to get, and we used to be almost a star recruit for our classes. A bunch of MAC offers, but the kids picked up a lot of interest after he switched over to IU. And the other one, Trenton Howland, kind of our Stevie Scott replacement, kind of a guy, 6'2", bigger bruiser kind of guy. Still got a little bit of a speed to him. He 2,000 yards as a junior. He's going to be pretty good too. And then to have some big beef to run behind and that offensive line, and to have the depth that we're going to have now, I think it's going to be something to look forward to in the future. But the one thing that I think we're really getting big time on in this class is an edge rusher in Cooper Jones out of Valpo. It's the high school he went to is it's crappy city, crappy high school, but he's a big dude, 6'6". He's a basketball player, so he's got good feet, and he's got great offers coming out. Some other Big Ten schools, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. He's a big get for us. We need somebody that can rush the passer. We haven't had somebody off the edge that can rush a passer since Greg Middleton, maybe.
Been a while.
A decade ago. So that'll be really nice. And then obviously we add a couple big wide receivers with some big time offers, and Jordan Williams and Jacques Smith, which we talked about last week, as well as Donovan McCauley, who's that's the big one for me. That's the big fish in the class, and hopefully he can pan out, because we know the way that some of these kids have panned out for us in the past. All of our major recruits and our number one recruits in every class back to 2014. This is from Punt John Punt on Twitter.
Who does a fantastic job. If you're not following Punt John Punt, you're it's a disservice to yourself.
Yeah, especially for IU football fans. He's at Punt John Punt on Twitter. And he points out that our top recruit from every class from 2014, outside of Juwan Burgess, who's still playing and has done okay, and Samson James, has either transferred or left, or just has not panned. It doesn't matter. Just hasn't panned out well here. Ronnie Walker had 2 good years, but he was never going to be the star. Rayshawn Williams, this is coming because of the news of Rayshawn Williams leaving. As we talked about, between us and a text conversation, I don't think he was going to have a shot anytime soon. Another person
that's
coming
why
in.
the transfer is there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the complete right move for him. We talked about last week. I think Wap's coming back. Freifogel is gone, but you still have those stable of wide receivers that he was clearly behind.
Yeah, Marshall,
he was behind.
Hewitt.
Hewitt, Swinton, Baker, and then we're bringing in Matthews as a monster transfer from Florida State. So, I mean, he's not even making the top 6, top 7. He needs to go somewhere where he can get on the field. And it's weird for IU to have this. Like, normally, if I heard when I heard Dominic Booth couldn't get on the field because of injuries, that was a huge bummer. Like, I loved turning on college football on the Xbox and seeing he was like an 81 freshman. That was so exciting to see, and to get an athlete like Tyler Green and Jonah Morris. We were just devastated when those guys decided to transfer. Now I'm just like, yeah, well, that makes sense. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The mindset that's happened in such the short time since Tom Allen has taken over, that we're in a fortunate position to have that sort of talent to not even be phased with a guy as rated as high as that.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is these kids, and I don't want to be mean to them, they're not going to listen. So these kids are going wherever they're going to go. And have you heard of them? Have you heard of where they are or what they're doing? It's part of it, man. You see that big 4-star recruit, and he's like, I'm gonna peace out after a year, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're a big time recruit, and then he goes somewhere else and he doesn't do anything. So maybe it just ratings don't matter is what I'm getting down to. So anything else you have?
Can we stay on this? Because you talked about, we did a great job of burying the lead. The lead's Donovan McCulley.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Right? Like, I don't think we played coy, because I think we truly believe everything we said about all the players. And again, you briefly brought up Donovan McCulley, but in my mind, he's the most exciting player IU has ever signed. And that's crazy because, I think he comes into next year squarely as the number 4, which is insane. I mean, he in my mind, he's the safest bet to be a really good player. And he's probably not seeing the field until his redshirt freshman year, maybe his redshirt sophomore year. Like, even getting snaps. So I think that's just so exciting that a player of that caliber that has that high of a ceiling, his ceiling is immense. He's 6'5", 200.
Yeah, and
as an 18-year-old, 6'5", 200, and I know you and I have seen those workout videos. He's gonna get to 225.
Yeah, he's got plenty of room to grow, and he's a true. And this is what I'm most excited about, is he's a true dual threat, running threat quarterback for us to have back there that also has an arm. I mean, he's not Xander, he's not. I can't think of Trey Roberson. This kid is built big, but
so
he's
I read
also
an
got
Indy
wheels,
Star
man.
article, and allegedly from his coach, and they have a great program there at Lawrence North, so I have no reason to doubt their coach. He said he's seen him throw goalpost to goalpost.
Yeah, that's what they've said about Penix. They've said that Penix can throw 60 yards into a trash can.
Yeah.
And we've seen him do, well, Ty Freifogel's not a trash can, but we've seen him do it live in a game.
Yep.
Right into Ty Fry's, right into his arms, mid-run. I'm looking at next year's schedule just to see if maybe he could get a little bit of run. I mean, we've got Idaho at home. We've got at Western Kentucky.
I want to see Dexter Williams.
Do you?
I do. I mean, you kind of sold me on him. You're a heck of a sales guy. Did you see him smiling when Tuttle went down? Like, I was obviously, third string quarterback, but I haven't seen a freshman look that confident, ready to go, man. He was jonesing. He was not scared of the spotlight.
The kid's got swag, man. He looks like he's got some swag to him. And I think I don't know too much about what his high school competition was, but he came in
Georgia, so I'm gonna guess it's pretty damn good.
Not a ton of accolades, but still, I mean, he came in with just all this confidence and everything on Twitter, and the way that, if the coach is talking about you at all in the press conferences, even with the scout team, as a true freshman, you're doing something well. We've heard about Aaron Casey for how many years now? 2-3 years. But because he's had to sit back and sit back and sit back, and then we see him this year, this kid is a beast, man.
Yep.
So
Tom Allen isn't fluff, man.
No.
He's not saying this to make you motivated. Sometimes, I hate to speak ill will of the formerly employed, but Tom Crean used to do that, right? He used to talk about players just to be like, try to get in their heads and try to motivate them. Tom Allen's not that. Tom Allen, every word he comes out of his mouth is genuine and earned. And you're right. The fact that Dexter Williams is even getting mentioned at press conferences is what has me excited for those points that you just made.
Yeah, for sure. I'm done with the recruits. Are you done with the recruits? Do you have like a dark horse maybe you want to talk about, or?
Not really. Again, it's 13 solid guys. Just to kind of ring the bell. I think we're a week from now or later this week, you're gonna see how does IU go to a bowl game and be the 12th ranked in the Big Ten, or how do they only get 13 guys? Tom Allen has built up that insurance to know what he's doing is right. And again, get old, stay old. I think we're going to bring back a lot of that team this year. A lot of seniors, I think, are going to want to be part of something huge. And, I'm happy we're not running guys off. Like while I'm not upset that Williams, the wide receiver, is leaving, I'm glad we haven't heard like opting out players or players transferring. A lot of my other friends go to Florida State. There are people running out of that program. Same. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so people are running out of that program. That's not it. So I don't care if we only have 13 guys because I'm confident in the 13 that we have.
Sure. Yeah, and this is a weird year where anybody can stay. So
yep.
You don't want to overpromise all these kids and then have that reputation with your school where you have to take back scholarships because other people are leaving, or you need to kick other players out of your program. Well, just looking at that while you were talking, you can look at the ranking all you want. That's based off of how many players we have committing. That's all it is. If you look at the average rating of our commit, that puts us at 7th in the Big Ten, behind all the quote unquote blue bloods: Ohio State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State, Iowa, Nebraska, and then us. So we're right there. It's just the amount of recruits that we have. And again, the rankings don't matter, man. If you're recruiting a high quality kid, somebody that's going to fit your system, they're going to blossom. And I think that's what we're bringing in, and that's what's going to happen with these kids for sure.
Totally.
Let's do something a little bit different.
Cool.
A little new. We've got some questions from a couple listeners. The first one from at Justin Bergery. It's at jbouge24. He wants to know if IU will beat a team with a winning record this year.
Oh, Bouge, you trolling son of a bitch. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna go play a top flight team in a top flight bowl, and we're gonna prove why we exist. And I can't wait to chug a beer right in front of you when that's socially acceptable. Because your question is trash. But please ask another one soon.
We had to get one of those Purdue questions in there for this week, just for him. So the other one does come from an IU guy. It's at SmithMatt_13. And it ties into your last answer. What bowl do you think we're going to see IU in?
So I'm torn a little bit on this. I think we deserve the Fiesta Bowl. I think we're going to get put in one of the top flight Florida bowls. I think because again, a lot of the second in the Big Ten plays this, and the third, and on and on and on. I do think we end up playing, in the Citrus Bowl, which isn't a bad consolation prize. That's down in Florida, in Tampa, in prime recruiting territory. So I want Fiesta. We deserve Fiesta, but I think we're going to go to Citrus because we just continue to get bent over. So.
Yeah, I think everybody on the Indiana football team is going to have PS5s at the end of the new year. So
and all the Tostitos they want.
And all the Tostitos they want, exactly. So just bags and bags of hint of lime and a PS5 in their hotel rooms because I think we're going to the Fiesta Bowl.
Woo! That would be awesome, man. And Doesn't it suck that we can't go? Like
We can't. Are you sure they're not gonna have people there? You better believe if they're gonna have people there, I'm gonna make my way out there and
it's
just for the game and
Arizona.
fly
I mean,
back.
Arizona don't give a fuck about Corona. Oh, sorry, edit explicit. They really don't. But neither does Florida. I mean, we're talking about two states that really don't. I went and socially distanced the Steelers game down in Jacksonville earlier this fall. So if they're allowing fans, you better believe that you and me will be there. We went down to Jacksonville. We outlasted the Virginia monsoon. We've outlasted many freezing below temperature days, huddling in tents at halftime. Who was that underscore Matt Smith? Was that who that was?
It was at Smith_13.
Okay. Well, Smith _13. If there's fans, get on board because we're going to Florida, Arizona.
I don't think he's gonna come. He lived in Chicago. He's super anti-COVID. But now that I've got it, I guess it doesn't really matter for me anymore. So we'll see. And I hope my wife doesn't listen to this podcast because she's gonna think I have a meeting or something instead. So we'll keep that on the hush hush until then. All right, to set up the next pod, which is supposed to be a preview pod for what was supposed to be the bowl game. We'll look ahead at the championship games, and I guess we'll do predictions on those, the major championship games at least. Maybe we have some signing day surprises. Anything you've heard of in the works, in the backgrounds?
I have not. I've kind of stayed away from sports after this weekend. I mean, because we lost the bucket game, and then my Steelers got embarrassed. So I've been kind of away from sports, other than preparing for this podcast. But that really hasn't been. With Kevin Wilson, we had a few surprises. It seemed like we had a big surprise every year with Kevin Wilson. That really hasn't been Tom Allen's thing. I can't really remember a big Tom Allen signing day surprise. So I don't expect that. But I'm definitely looking forward to talking about the championship games. Obviously, IU has a ton of implications going into this weekend. And any chance we can talk about our boy Peyton Ramsey.
May not be well, but we can still talk about him.
We can still talk about him.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that, man.
Definitely. And then we'll touch base on the Big Ten awards. The offensive awards came out. The offensive teams came out. Ty Fry's the first ever IU player to win a Big Ten wide receiver of the year. I think we got a little bit lucky on that with the amount of games played. I think David Bell was pretty close at catching him, but he had a hell of a year. We can touch on that a little bit on the next pod. We'll also look at Coach of the Year and the defensive awards as well. And then we can get a little bit more of a
light that screen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All IU everywhere on all three teams. And then
but even this team, 4 guys on the all Big Ten offensive team.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that we'll have 10 plus. I definitely think we get 5 or 6 on the defensive side. That speaks to what CTA is building. But to kind of go to my point, and sorry if it's a broken record, but you don't see us anywhere on the offensive line. If there's one thing we need to get better at, it is offensive line.
Yeah. Kreider made honorable mention or something, but that was it.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, getting 4 guys on the offensive side and definitely going to get, at least that many on the defensive side is just so fucking exciting, and why I just want to see this team more and more.
Definitely. And then we'll touch some more on bowl projections. I think I'm going to stay where I'm at unless something happens crazy between now and Thursday night when we do that pod. So we'll wrap all this up now. Do you have anything else to add or subtract?
No, I don't. Not specifically on anything we covered. The Kane Womack news is official. There's no update on that, but I love that he's staying to coach the bowl game. Again, that speaks to the culture. That speaks to the type of men CTA is having in leadership positions. Same thing happened with Kalen DeBauer last year. He stayed and coached as well. So just not enough good enough things we can say about both the staff and the players there. So congratulations to Kane. Thanks for sticking around. And Michael, do you have anything?
That's it, man. I'm good.
That's it. All right.
Wrap
I
it
will
up.
talk to you later this week.
All right, Elio,
As
buddy.
always, Elio.
See ya.
Elio.
Awesome day. Elio.
Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that. Elio.
All right, great. Elio.
Appreciate you guys. Elio. You're welcome, Dave. Have a great day. Elio.
Have a great day. Elio. Appreciate you being here with us. Have an awesome day. And Elio.
Oh, thank you so much. Elio.
Well, thanks so much, Elio.
Hey, thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Elio. Appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day. Elio.
Awesome. Elio.
Elio.